Have you ever had trouble finding out whether the food is spoiled or not? Have you ever experienced food poisoning because of your hunger and was not able to check the quality of food? Fear not, because we have
Food
Food
Freshness
Freshness
Spotter
Spotter.
makes
Makes
eating
eating
food
food
a
a
lot
lot
more
more
safer.
safer. Now, when it comes to detecting the spoilage of the food, we have to consider many aspects such as the light, the oxygen, the heat, humidity, temperature, and spoilage bacteria present in the sample. Now, this can all affect both safety and quality of perishable foods, most especially here in the Philippines, since we are in a tropical country. When this food is subjected to these factors, food will gradually deteriorate. Now, we have this device which uses fiber optic biosensors, which are already known to have the ability to assess the safety of food by detecting dangerous microorganisms present in the food. The fiber optic biosensor receives the analyte from sample, which then attaches to a biorecognition element that connects to a secondary enzyme that is connected to a sensor with a fluorophore. With this, a beam of light is aimed at the enzyme which emits a certain light intensity for different elements present in the sample. The beam emitted by the sample is then refracted by a glass which the RFID antenna receives. The change in refraction is then detected by the transducer, which converts these changes into an equivalent electrical signal, which helps in quantifying the detected elements in the sample.
The food quality monitoring system has four main components: the pH sensor, gas sensor, optical biosensor, and the thermocouple. The pH sensor is responsible for detecting the alkalinity. The gas sensor is responsible for the carbon dioxide, which is supposedly emitted if the food is spoiled. The optical biosensor for detecting the microorganisms within your food, and of course the thermocouple, as the name implies, detects the temperature found in the food, or what is the temperature in the food. All these sensors are connected to our DAQ, which is the data acquisition system, which is then converted later from analog input to digital input in our computer system. After that, it will then process into output later on to be seen by the user. In this system, we are using LabVIEW in order to process all the data that are coming in from the sensor. The sensor gives us the analog input, LabVIEW converts it into digital input, and then outputs it, displays it into a readable format the user can understand.
To explain how the product device works, we make sure that we have placed the thermocouple probes near the food or inside to measure temperature. After that, we place the optical biosensor towards the food with the light to confirm whether there are toxins or microorganisms in the food. Next is to gather a sample of a beverage and fill it at a pH sensor container to test the acidity. Next is to place the air quality sensor on the top of the food without touching it. All of these sensors must be connected to the DAQ device and the DAQ device to the host device for the interface, which is the computers you all use, such as laptops, personal desktops, and more. So make sure we have the LabVIEW program installed to run the tests and monitor the results provided with the user interfaces for measuring temperature, present toxins, or microorganisms, alkalinity, and the present carbon dioxide of the food tested to produce the analytic data of the food quality.
One of the main advantages of this system is being able to know the quality of your food. Of course, if you eat something, you want to know that your food is very clean and it will not ruin your digestive system. Another advantage would be that it is very easy to build. You just record the 4 components in this video, and then of course it's since this is going to be open source, or we will provide the program, you may edit it so that you may add more sensors to detect on your food. It is very modular, and you just need to add in the DAQ system that it needs to detect more characteristics of the food. This can be used in food establishment to tell whether or not the food you're selling is gone bad. Of course, you need to advertise that your whole place will only sell clean food, especially in the days right now where pandemic is hitting us. Your food needs to be clean, and it does not strike fear into your customers. Otherwise, you will have no customers. This will also test the food quality over time. What I mean by this is most food products sold in stores will have an expiration date. Most of the food that are, for example, the convenience store, sometimes they sell rice meals, and they usually have just a day, although it should be tested how long they can be good for. With this system, you will know when it will go bad, and then you can place the print in the box that it will be expiring in a few hours, or maybe in a day, or maybe a month. This can be also used to protect those with poor immune system. So just use it in hospitals so that it will not affect those that will eat it. Food
Food
Freshness
Freshness
Spotter
Spotter
makes
makes
eating
eating
food a lot more safer.
safer.